because you may be on air.
Okay.
Oh, that was instantaneous.
Pick headphones test.
Yeah, you sound good. Hello, Simsters. Are you ready for a fun night in New York? If you're going to have a fun night somewhere, New York is probably the place to be because New York is excellent. Hi, Allie. Welcome to week 9, day 5. And tonight is pretty special because for the third time in 5 years, we have a horse going for the Triple Crown, and the other two were not able to do it. So tonight will Dragonfly break the drought. No horse has won the Triple Crown since Maelstrom in year 30. The horses that tried were Heart of the Storm in year 42 and Tahoe in year 43, back-to-back years. And then Dragonfly, the surprise horse who literally did not even break his maiden until this year. He just wanted distance. He's bred to love this distance today. He has two brothers that have won the Long Island Classic. But he has to go up against Danny Belmont, whose real name is Danny Derby, who has won this race twice, stopping both Triple Crown bids, and he has the second choice today, who very may well actually be the favorite. So pretty intense race today in the Long Island Classic. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are excited too. But before that, we have the Long Island Acorn, which usually, historically, produces like tons of 100 speed figures because there's these amazing fillies that are bred to go a mile and a half and they only get one chance in their life to do that. Today is that day. Normally we have a field of like 10 or 11 or 12, like it's usually insane. Today we have a field of 5. And that's kind of surprising to me. It was almost a field of 4 because Louisville Oaks winner You Are Special actually wanted to go in the Long Island Classic. Art Vandelay got chicken there and decided to go in the Acorn, but he thought about it long and hard. And Eric Nowbone with Napa Valley, she's got siblings or female family that loves this race, so will it be one of them? Or will it be an upset in the Acorn? Now, we had a bit of a problem today in that we had our MC to be Rebecca Rose Hepburn. She was booked about 10 weeks ago. But I don't know if you all are following the news, but it's the apocalypse in California today. We've gotten something like, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches of rain, which is like what we got the past 5 years combined today. And so I spent a long time on the road today trying to get home. My kid's school was evacuated because of the flooding in the school. Rebecca Rose Hepburn's apartment was flooded, and it was all not good at all. So Rebecca Rose Hepburn was like, yeah, not so much with the me broadcasting tonight. And she gave me about, I don't know, 2.5 hours notice. So I was like, okay, let's call Nina. Nina's my right hand chick. She can do it. And Nina was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that tonight. And I was like, good news. I know someone else who is probably working, but if Scott's not available, I'm going to have to do it. And guess what? Scott was freaking there for me. So Scott, you get tonight's prize, and you also get to now talk about the acorn.
Very exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Elmont, New York. I am Scott Island, your MC of the evening, and history could be at the precipice of being made as tonight Dragonfly tries to make the long drive for the Immortals down the backstretch at Elmont. I am very excited to see what happens here at Long Island Racetrack. But first, the undercard. The undercard is the Long Island Acorn. 3-year-old fillies on a mile and a half of dirt. The weather's beautiful here in upstate New York. The Long Island Railroad was packed in anticipation of what will be a huge, huge event tonight. So let's break down this undercard here, the Long Island Acorn. We only have 5 fillies here, but boy, are they special looking. Starting with Napa Valley. Napa Valley's under the gun. she is a homebred for Hall of Famer Eric Nalbone. She is by Doctor out of Corona, and awake as I am, Mayor, who is very familiar for those of us who are in the dirt routing game. She has a lot of class and a lot of stamina to mix with Doctor to make what I would expect to be a broodmare who's going to be throwing Derby prospects all day long. But she's running today, not pregnant. So let's see what happens here. She is 3 for 5 for her career with $378,000 in career earnings. She came in a very narrowly defeated second place in the Louisville Oaks 3 weeks ago. She ran well. UR Special was a little bit better than her that day, but will she be better than her today? Who knows? Before that, Napa Valley won the last California Stakes, wiring the field, and came in fifth, closing out her juvenile campaign, losing to Choosing Joy in the Stewards Cup Juvenile Fillies. Napa Valley looks like a pretty decent long shot choice, interestingly enough, for Eric Nalbone here under the gun. In the 2-hole is UR Special, a late entrant for Art Vandelay. She is a 3-year-old bay filly by URIM out of the former Louisville Derby winner, Skyfall. UR Special is 5 for 6 in her career with $667,000 in career earnings and is coming off a wire-to-wire win in the Louisville Oaks. She was able to outlast Napa Valley in that one. The question is, can she handle a little bit more ground here today? She's going to want to be on the lead, as she has in every single one of her races at this point. Her only defeat was a 79 speed figure loss in the Magnier Stakes as a juvenile. But she has swept all 3 races as a sophomore leading up to today. The question is, will the 95 speed figure she ran running her eyes out 3 weeks ago, is that going to mean a bounce today? Art Vandelay hopes not, but UR Special's rivals hope so. In the 3-hole is another veteran of the wars here, Aaron Sanderson's homebred Lady So Divine. Lady So Divine is by URIM out of High Dreams, highly regarded mare, and she is 4 for 6 on her in her lifetime with a career best speed figure of 91. You might remember High Dreams from such luminaries as Through the Ghost. Yes, this is her sister. His sister, Lady So Divine here, is coming off a 3rd place finish in the Louisville Oaks. Prior to that, she did win both of her other races leading into it with high 80 speed figures. She is super consistent, but perhaps a little bit under the radar somehow because she's had some rough starts. She's had some tough moves out of the gate. And there are a couple of horses in the field who are a little more flashy, if you will. But what can you say about a sibling of Through the Ghost? This horse is absolutely live. And Aaron Sanderson from her hospital bed is waiting with bated anticipation to see what happens here today. In the 4-hole is Princess, a steward bred purchased by Xander's Own, or perhaps leased by Xander's Own. She is by Firefly out of the East Mare Bride. Bride, of course, has Breathe in her pedigree, which means she's bred to run all day long. So Firefly over Breathe, my goodness. This horse is going to like distance, and that's why she's here. She only has a maiden victory, but that victory came in a stakes effort in the Temple Stakes. So she's 1 for 6 in her lifetime with an 88 career best speed figure in the Temple Stakes last year, $152,000 in earnings. Definitely a long shot here. But the entry really makes sense. She does want a long route of ground, and we'll see if that bodes well for her. And in the 5-hole is Heartbeat. Heartbeat is a steward bred purchased by Brandon McNulty for $1.3 million. She is by Linguistics out of a Windseeker mare named Goodbye. She is 3 for 6 on her lifetime with $208,000 in career earnings. She is coming off a very impressive victory in the Baltimore Oaks just 2 weeks ago. She defeated Midnight Thunder and Love of My Life to get there. She's been, it's going to be interesting to see how she handles a little bit more territory. She has lost in the past to Lady So Divine in the Warm Stakes, and she was up the track a bit in the Stewards Cup Juvenile Fillies. She's definitely classy, though, and I went ahead and put $1,000 on her nose. And those of you who have not already bet should bet on this race because Art made it so that it was possible. So let's honor Art like we all should and bet on this race. So that is your 5 filly lineup for the Long Island Acorn. Let's see if the steward has any further insights before we have the call.
I do have insight. People were asking in the chat room about Erin. Erin did have surgery today. She's doing great. I heard from her a little bit ago via text message. So she's doing okay. Uh, I guess always fun to have your horse in a grade one race when you're laying in a hospital bed. So hopefully, Lady So Divine can provide a thrill for her or whatever. But to me, you have to be thinking about Napa Valley in this race, I think, because just the female family and Corona. The question to me is, can Doctor sire a horse that wants to win at a mile and a half? Like, really wants to win at a mile and a half. I'm not so sure that he's actually done that to date. Um, I know he had a daughter named CN Tower out of Maryland Million, which, Maryland Million, those always want to go a mile and a half, and CN Tower did not at all, like -10 amounts of wanting to go that far. So, is Doctor going to ruin Napa Valley's chances here? That is a good question, in my opinion. However, I'm looking at Axis Mundi, who I think ran in the Long Island Classic last year, was fourth. This is a doctor out of Pahasapa. You may remember that she was one of the great marathon mares of all time, and this one literally won at a mile and a half 4 days ago, beating Scott Island's Talk It Round, which I'm sure he was not thrilled of. So apparently there is a doctor out in the world that can go a mile and a half, which is good for the doctor children running in the Long Island Classic later today. 2 minutes to post now, so please make sure that you get your bets in for the pick 4, the pick 6, the daily double, and then bet the Long Island Acorn, because you will not get another chance. It will be so over. Does anyone have any opinions in this race? I know it's a small 5-horse field, but I think they're all quite live. And if You Are Special wins this race, does Art Vandelay kick himself for not going against the boys? Pedigree says she should love mile and a half. I love this horse's headshot because she's got earmuffs, and anything with earmuffs is the best. One minute post. The betting pool is only $5,800. I refuse to call the race until it's at least 10. So here's the link. Allie, surely you can fix this for me. I know Bay's not listening. If she was, maybe she'd be able to fix it for me. John Exet's in the house. He'll run Saturday Silence in the Classic in half an hour. 20 minutes? 15 minutes? Math is hard. For someone who sure didn't feel well earlier, or now, Nina did 3 headshots today. I just haven't gotten them up yet. But I will, while Scott's talking about the classic horses. It is post time for the Long Island Acorn. A pathetic betting pool of... Oh, someone made a $10,000 bet while I was reloading. Thanks, guys. $16,500 in the pool. Who will it be? Let's make this race call a size I can read. All right. They're off in the Acorn. You Are Special stumbled at the start. Napa Valley gets away well. Princess, You Are Special is rushed up now. Lady So Divine, Heartbeat will be the early trailer in a compact field of 5. So it is a speed duel early in the Acorn. Napa Valley and You Are Special going at it. The pace is fast. A length back, Princess is third. Lady So Divine and Heartbeat are bobbing heads, 4th and 5th. 3 lengths covers the lot. So 1 mile left in the Acorn, and Napa Valley shakes loose of You Are Special, losing a bit of ground as You Are Special. Princess up second, and You Are Special is third. Heartbeat has taken over fourth, with Lady So Divine content to trail. Napa Valley, she leads by 2, and she's on the muscle, loose now after that speed duel early. Princess and You Are Special side by side, then the 2 trailers together, Heartbeat and Lady So Divine. They are 6 lengths from the leader. Only half a mile left to go now, and they're rounding the far turn. It is Napa Valley leading by just a length. Princess has spit the bit. Here's Lady So Divine passing horses. You Are Special asked to go on. Heartbeat still in it, so the race shape is changing. Napa Valley, but Lady So Divine is breathing down her neck. Heartbeat third now. You Are Special is not answering the question. Princess back last, and down the stretch they come. Lady So Divine and Heartbeat, they've put Napa Valley away. They're kicking clear. You Are Special back fourth. Lady So Divine and Heartbeat. Heartbeat trying to get her. She's desperate, but Lady So Divine has had her measure the entire stretch, and Lady So Divine, she wins a big one. Lady So Divine. Heartbeat second, Napa Valley third, then You Are Special and Princess. The official winner is Lady So Divine. She's a 3-year-old bay filly by You Are I Am. Is he still standing? Yes, he is, for $85,000. Out of High Dreams by Highly Regarded. She is a homebred for Aaron Sanderson, and this is her 5th win in 7 starts. High Dreams is now pensioned at age 12. Wah, wah, that's really a bummer. But she's also the dam of Through the Ghost. Speaking of standing, you can get him for $50,000, and I actually love him as a stallion. I think he's the bomb. Only 1 millionaire to date, but he does better with fillies than boys. So think of that when you breed to him. And he has a nice 3-year-old colt right now named Agnew. Scott will appreciate the reference, as Agnew is his. Next up is the Long Island Classic, 11 horses, and the race is in less minutes than that. No, 12 minutes. So to talk about it, here is Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, everybody rise and enjoy the singing of New York, New York. Okay, this is like the first time in years that I've done this race, and I wanted to play Frank, okay? So bear with me. There's a few seconds of Sinatra. You're all very welcome. Let's do this thing, man. I am excited. This is the 11 horse, 45th running of the Long Island Classic. Field is very deep. The question is, can Dragonfly do it, and who amongst his rivals is going to take him down? Let's take a look. Leading off in the 1 hole under the gun is Judge of Time. Judge of Time is a steward bred purchased by Nene Hunter for $4.5 million as a yearling. He is by Doctor out of a Flames mare, Harmony. He is 4 for 7 in his career for $345,000 in earnings. One of the most shocking decisions of the last 5 years in the Derby was Judge of Time not showing up on the field when he had plenty of room and plenty of points to get there. He was coming off a narrow defeat in the Sunshine Park Derby to a little-known horse named Dragonfly, and his trainer was spooked enough to keep him out of the Derby field. We'll never know if he would have been able to do better than Dragonfly in Louisville, because he went to Lexington instead and ran and won the Grade 3 Lexington Racecourse Stakes, defeating Film, which is my horse, and Doomsday Gaze. By the way, if you're beating one of my horses as a 3-year-old in a race like the Lexington Racecourse Stakes, and I purchased him for over $4 million, it's because I misidentified him as a non-guy who wants to race when he's 27 years old. Moving right along, though, let's not get into my mental illness. This horse also came in 4th place in the Baltimore Crown, losing to Dragonfly, of course, who defeated Saturday Silence and Happy this way ahead of him. But Judge of Time, a very, very game horse. He was a Derby contender, probably a little under the radar here, but very live from the 1 hole. In post 2 is Rebecca Rose Hepburn's Gerard. She is owned by RRH, but is bred by the recently retired Allie Weasley. He is by Man of Mystery out of Sweet or Something, a rambling mare, and he is 3 for 5 in his career with $166,000 in earnings. Gerard came in 16th place in the Louisville Derby, did not race well. Prior to that, he won the Panama Derby down south and came in third place in the George Washington Stakes Week 2. He did win the Christmas Cup, wiring the field to do so. So it might be okay that he's in the two-hold here, considering the fact that he's probably going to want to be on the lead. There's a fair amount of speed in this race, though, so we'll see if it matters. Up next is Danny Derby's rabbit, Dr. Billy. Dr. Billy is by Doctor out of a Stay Inside Mare, Inside Review, yes. This horse screams, I am a rabbit. Yes, I am. I am a rabbit. I am a rabbit. Oh, I am a rabbit. I am a rabbit. Oh, he's 1 for 7 on his career and is there to put some heat on the other speed in the race. In the 4-hole is Kilgrave, owned and bred by Cleopatra. Kilgrave is by Man of Mystery out of Sacred, a Messiah mare. Is 4 for 7 on his career with $286,000 in earnings. He is coming off a disappointing showing in the Baltimore Crown after running 6th in the Louisville Derby 3 weeks ago. Prior to that, he was a speedy. He has been a speed merchant, running to the front and wiring fields most of his career. He did sweep the New Mexico Preps, winning the Border Derby and the Albuquerque Park Derby. Easy for me to say. Prior to that, he came in narrowly losing the Louisiana Jackpot to Happy This Way, and after winning the Purple Man Futurity as a juvenile. So he's very accomplished with 4 victories already. A high speed figure of 98 occurred in the Louisiana Jackpot in a losing effort. So he's very capable of running his eyes out, and we'll see if he's got enough in the tank to be a contender here today. Up next is a horse who is going to be the second or third choice, Kaiser Soze. He is by Rambling out of a Keyboard Courage mare named Inspiration. He is owned and bred by Babe Ruth herself, Laura Ferguson. Kaiser Soze is 5 for 7 on his career with $857,000 in earnings. That includes a narrow defeat at the Louisville Derby just 3 weeks ago. He did come in 5th in the Baltimore Crown. This is a lot of people believe that due to the fact that he did not start well and also he did not get a very good post, that he probably should have won the race at the 10 furlongs. He did not. Dragonfly did. Is Kaiser Soze going to limp to the start like Kevin Spacey and overtake the Dragonfly and the others in the race? We'll find out today. He is going to be the second or third choice today. The other big threat to Dragonfly, a lot of people say it's Circle of Life. Circle of Life is owned and bred by Danny Derby. He is by Messiah out of Wish Upon a Star, one of Danny Derby's prize mares. He is 4 for 6 on his career with $910,000 in earnings. That includes a 100 speed figure as when he broke his maiden last year. That's all, just a 100. He swept to the 2 big preps in Kentucky, the Tremendous Stakes and the Kentucky Blue, before narrowly losing in the Louisville Derby, coming in 3rd to Dragonfly and the aforementioned Kaiser Soze. This horse is very much capable of winning the race. He's got the same class level as the other top contenders, and it holds some reason that he would have enough stamina too. So he's definitely getting a lot of attention from the Simsters who are betting, and we'll see if he can pull off the Danny Belmont triple here. It'll become the 3rd time that a Danny Derby trained horse spoiled the party for somebody trying to go for the Triple Crown. Up 7th is another RRH charge, Ishtar Gate, another Allie Risley bred. He is by Through the Ghost out of Pergamon, a sword mare. He is 3 for 6 in his career with $141,000 in earnings. However, that includes a 97 speed figure, and he broke his maiden last year. So while he hasn't had the big signature victory, he did win the Artillery Stakes as a freshman and came in 2nd in the Loki Masterpiece Stakes before winning a sponsored race before entering here. So we're going to have to see if Ishtar Gate is good enough to run in the Belmont, and it looks like he might have it. He definitely has the stamina. The question is, does he have the class level? That is yet to be seen. Has to Know is up next in the 8-hole. He is a steward bred owned by Bill Outsilver, purchased for $350,000, which is a rounding error compared to what you see in most steward breds these days. He is by Crusader, the former Louisville Derby winner, out of Keep It Secret, a Father's Day mare, and he is 4 for 7 in his career with $314,000 in earnings. He came in 10th in the Louisville Derby, but prior to that, he won the New Orleans Derby and the Fountain of Gold Stakes. So he swept the races in the Cajun races to get to the Derby, but came in 10th, which is nothing to sneeze at. Definitely a very good purchase by Mr. Outsilver. And the question is, does he have enough stamina to get to the mile and a half? It's questionable, but it's he's definitely belongs here. We'll see if he's good enough. It'd be really, I tell you something. Hasno wins it. That would shock the universe. I think he's probably going to be 100 to 1 or better. So if you want to throw $1,000 on his nose, go ahead. Up in the 9 hole is Dragonfly. Now it's going to be. We're going to see if this is a good post for Susie Rydell's homebred or not. Dragonfly, of course, is the winner of both the Louisville Derby and the Baltimore Crown after sweeping 2 Florida races to start the year. As a 3-year-old, he entered the season with 0 victories to his credit, but he has done nothing but win, 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 and wire the field in doing so or come close. He's going to want to go to the lead with everybody else who's beating it here. And he's by Man of Mystery, who needs no introduction. He's out of Amber, who needs no introduction. Talk about a star-studded pedigree there. And he's 4 for 6 in his career with almost $2 million in earnings. Obviously, he's going to be the favorite here today. The question is, will he give the effort that a lot of people are expecting? And are we going to have our first Triple Crown in what seems like forever? In the 10 hole is Rolling in the Deep, owned and bred by Art Vandelay. He is by Man of Mystery, Art Stallion, out of Adele, one of Art's best fillies. Gee, it's an embarrassment of riches over here. He's 3 for 7 on his career with $170,000 in earnings. He came in 11th in the Baltimore Crown after winning the Louisville Derby and wiring the field in doing so. A lot of speed in this race, folks. That's one thing I'm noticing. But Rolling in the Deep is going to be definitely he's definitely a long shot here. I think Art's using this horse to set up maybe somebody else. I can't really tell. Does Art have? Is this the only? I think this is the only. This is the only race. This is the only horse Art has in this race. So never mind. He's he thinks he's going to win a little bit. I'm sure he does. Okay, let's wrap it up with the juvenile winner from last year, Saturday Silence. Saturday Silence, owned and bred by the Godfather, John Exit. He's by Espoir City, out of Eve, a Zulu dancer mare. He's 3 for 6 in his career.
So apparently we just lost Scott. He just went poof. And that's not our best plan. Hello?
Happened.
Okay. I don't know. It says you left. Okay, I'm turning you back on to the thing. Here you go.
I apologize for the technical difficulties. I swear I didn't do it. Like I was saying though, Saturday Silence is pretty awesome. Did not do well in the Triple Crown races up to now, but he shocked the world when he won the juvenile last year. So all I can tell you is I'm not going to dismiss him completely. It didn't. It wasn't. It hasn't been an auspicious start to the season. I'm sure John would admit that. But also, John doesn't care because he's John. John has his own set of rules. So I have no problem with him being here. I love Saturday Silence, but I can't see him. I can't envision a scenario where he wins this. My pick of this was Circle of Life. I think that Danny Turby's going to thwart him again. We'll see if I just threw a black cat in front of him or not. But that is your Long Island Classic field. I feel like playing some more Frank, baby. Dun, 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 dun. Start spreading the news. All right, Emily. I'm leaving today. I feel like dancing, baby.
Thank you, Scott, for pinch hitting on short notice. Much appreciated. It is post time for the Long Island Classic. I don't even have extra time to talk about things, which is great. I love that. I think this race comes down to 2 horses. Will Dragonfly get loose on the lead with his natural superior speed? If he does, he should be gone. But is there enough speed in here to set it up for the person that we all know as Danny Derby, but really is he Danny Belmont? Because that's the horse. Or are we all being stupid and Kaiser Soze is going to blow past them all and we'll all be like, oh, duh. Like, And what about Saturday Silence? What about his pedigree? We don't know what the distance limitations of S4 City are. So, anyway, $54,600 in the betting pool, and it is time for the Long Island Classic. They are off in the 46th Long Island Classic, and it was a fantastic start for all 11 runners. There he goes, Dragonfly, as expected, the first out for the lead. Kilgrave will go with him in Judge of Time, Ishtar Gate, Rolling in the Deep, then Dr. Billy and Has to Know. Gerard taken back, then Circle of Life, 4 lengths back to Kaiser Soze, and Saturday Silence is the trailer. So they come to the top of the stretch the first time, and Dragonfly is leading just a length to a wall of horses. Kilgrave, Judge of Time, Ishtar Gate, Rollin' in the Deep, Dr. Billy, Has to Know, Gerard, and Circle of Life. 5 lengths back to Kaiser Soze, and Saturday Silence trails the field. 1 lap left to go in the Classic, and the Triple Crown is on the line. Dragonfly has gotten loose now. Dragonfly is leading by 3. Kilgrave a clear second now. Ishtar Gate moves up third. Alongside comes Judge of Time, Rollin' in the Deep, Dr. Billy, and Has to Know. Gerard has dropped out of the fray. Circle of Life has 7 lengths to make up, then another 7 to the 2 trailers, Kaiser Soze and Saturday Silence. No change in order yet. Dragonfly, Kilgrave, then Ishtar Gate leading the pack of the rest. Judge of Time, Rollin' in the Deep, Dr. Billy, Has to Know, Gerard. Circle of Life, he's coming on now. Circle of Life making his move. Kaiser Soze has to go now, then Saturday Silence, half a mile left, and Dragonfly has opened up on them. Dragonfly is 4-5 in front, but here comes Circle of Life spinning past horses. He's up second now. Kilgrave, leg weary, Rollin' in the Deep, cracks. Judge of Time, here comes Kaiser Soze finally moving on between horses, and Saturday Silence too. Down the stretch they come. Dragonfly can see the wire, and it's come to this as Danny Belmont is circling up with Circle of Life. Kilgrave, then Kaiser Soze, who is throttling past runners in the lane. Dragonfly 2 in front. Circle of Life coming at him hard. Kaiser Soze, Dragonfly, Circle of Life, here's the line, and Dragonfly has flown right into the history books. Dragonfly wins the Triple Crown. The first winner in 16 years. Circle of Life a half back second. Kaiser Soze, Saturday Silence, Kilgrave, and Rollin' in the Deep. The official winner is Dragonfly, the first Triple Crown winner in 16 years. He's a 3-year-old bay colt by Man of Mystery out of Amber by Awake As I Am. He's a homebred for Susie Rydell, who literally does not know she's won the Triple Crown yet. She is not listening. He has now won 5 of 7 starts and is rich and historical. Yes, Liam. Okay, Mama's working. So Circle of Life could not get there in time, but for all the cheap speed, none of them could make Dragonfly work early. He'll go next in the Midsummer Classic, I'm sure. And what will they throw against him there? Interesting to find out. That is the race and the Triple Crown season. Our next race call will be probably not Monday. Probably won't do Canadian Triple Crown because of reasons. But we'll be back week 12 Friday with the Midsummer Classic, which will be rematch number 3 between Circle of Life and Dragonfly. Probably. And that'll be exciting. Okay, someone's got to put these kids in bed. Good night, all.